New Madden 19 concepts. Welcome to the show. This is your boy Jay Blaze. I was talking today earlier with a guy I met on Mud 18 online named Ulano1. And me and him had an in-depth conversation. Matter of fact, I'm playing him in this game right here. And I wish that the audio would have picked up the conversation that we had because I felt like it was a very good one. But he brought up a lot of great points that I want to touch on this video. You know, in my talks with him, he let me know a lot of new things that was going to happen for Madden, starting with the basic, like some of the mechanics that are incorporated in this new Madden. When you have users like an Anthony Barr or a Leonard Floyd, both guys are above 6'5", you know, and then as opposed to them, you have Luke Kuechly and you have Ryan Shazier. Now, in Mud 18, all four of those guys' agility pretty much were the same. You know, no matter if, you know, Luke Kuechly and Shazier are smaller players, of course they're going to have higher agility. They should be able to move better than a guy who's 6'7". But on the flip side, those 6'7" guys move like they 6'1". Well, in Mud 19, that's not going to be the case. You're not going to be able to have a guy that plays, that's a giant, play like he's a small or a smaller guy. So what's going to happen is that, you know, it's going to be somewhat of a penalty to use a Barr or a Leonard Floyd because they won't be able to be as fluid as a smaller person. You know, can you still use it with them? I believe that you could. I think it's going to take an adjustment to be able to use it with them. I don't think you're going to be able to use it with them like you did in 18. But on the flip side of it, it also goes into, you know, their hitting ability, how big a person is. You know, you're not going to have a guy who's 6'1" hit like a guy who's 6'7". You know, so the Bars and the Leonard Floyds, they should have better hit stick animations, or they should have better results from the hit sticks than you would a Kuechly or Ryan Shazier. So I guess that's kind of the trade-off. And now, speaking of hit sticks, you know how Madden 18, where, you know, you can hit a guy low and the ball would come out? Now, I haven't seen too many hit sticks in the NFL where a guy get hit in his ankles and then fumbles the ball. I mean, that really just doesn't happen. But in Madden 18, that was a common occurrence. So going into 19, that's no longer going to be the case. If you want to get a hit stick off and you want to create a fumble with that hit stick, it's going to have to be high. Now, in 18, you could use the hit stick button, and you know how you would hit stick too early, but you were just close enough to get the suction action to happen, where a guy would go for the hit stick, miss, and then somehow still be able to wrap you up. Well, that's not going to be in 19. If you don't line that guy up perfectly with a hit stick, you're going to miss, and you're going to miss so bad that that guy probably is going to take it to the house on you. You know, so they kind of make it where it's like, you know, high risk, high reward if you go with a stick up high and you don't get it. So I think probably the safer bet would be to, you know, try to do wrap tackles or dive tackles. And I think a hit stick should, you know, come into play when it's like, okay, it's in the fourth quarter, we down by 5 points, we need a turnover. So we're going to take the risk of possibly missing a tackle, but we need to try to get this football back by any means necessary. And I think that's the way it should be in Madden. I don't think guys should be throwing hit sticks all over the place. You know, so I was glad to find out that information, and also the fact that they're bringing penalties back. You know, in 18, man, you can actually just go out and just straight foul a guy. You know, he was throwing a 9 route, you know, which is a go route or streak. And, you know, let's say that you were out of position and you playing cornerback and you're out of position and you really necessarily can't make a play on the ball, but you can affect the receiver's path to the ball. Well, you know, and I've been guilty of this myself, and it's happened to me as well. And I'm pretty sure that some of you guys have done this too. If you guys have done this, like it in the video. You've actually ran directly into the receiver on purpose to try to make sure that he wouldn't catch the ball. Like if anybody's done that. Because I know I've done it, because when the first time it happened to me, I didn't know what was going on. Because, see, I came from Madden 25 MUT 25 rather. And they actually had, penalties, and there were certain things that you couldn't do on the game. And so when I came to MUT 18, I was thinking that the same thing was going to be in effect. I mean, because you watch football, they have penalties in NFL. These are NFL teams with NFL players. I would assume that they're going to have penalties as well, but that wasn't the case. It was the first MUT that I've seen was just like pure like arcade mode as far as like NFL blitz. You could just straight do whatever. The only thing you would get penalized on is if you was on aggressive stripping the ball or aggressive pass rush when they draw you offside with a hard count. And maybe aggressive blocking if you're in pass plays, because you can do aggressive blocking on running plays and they wouldn't call holding at all. So I'm glad on MUT 19 that that's not going to be the case where you can just go out there and just be just a wild savage and just think that, hey, man, I could just do whatever I want. Nah, that's not going to be the case. Another change that they have, just like that pick you just saw, they're not going to give the cornerbacks the ability to break on the ball as quickly as they have on Madden 18. It's almost like a predetermined animation where, that guy is going to get that pick and the wide receiver is not going to be able to have he's not going to react to the ball hardly at all. I mean, I know that there have been situations where I've thrown the ball up and my guy instantly started to go for a tackle, and instead of trying to go for the ball because it was a predetermined animation that he was going to, that I was going to throw a pick. And they've taken that out on Madden 19 to where even like the only way you're gonna actually get those type of glitchy interceptions is if you pretty much put it on play ball, So but if you're just going normal, those guys you're not gonna get those glitchy predetermined picks that you would on 18. So I'm glad to see that. And also just to piggyback off of changes that I would like to see, or changes that are going to take effect in 19. There's some things that I would like to see come into effect on 19. Now, I understand that, it allows people to, approach the game differently, whether you like to pay for cards or whether you like to grind it out for cards. I do like the fact that EA is actually trying to give people an opportunity to grind for cards and things of that nature. But I know MUT 18, they actually, at one given point in the season during the week, you would have 4 different packs that would, be available for in the pack store, which kind of seems almost like a money grab type situation. Just like, if you're going to spend money, you're going to have a leg up on the competition. I mean, I understand the EA is a business, and I guess that was their business motto, because there are a lot of people that when they bought the game, man, they spent hundreds and thousands of dollars in for packs and stuff. And I like the fact that they're giving people an opportunity to grind, for those cards. And I like that, I would say that, they probably need to, me personally, I don't think they need to have that many packs released throughout the week, because like you get a card early in the week that you think is pretty good. Then later on in the week, there's a card that comes out that's better. And it might be the person who plays the same position as the card that you got earlier in the week, just because they're dropping 4 or 5 packs. So I like the fact that they allow people to grind, because I'm a grinder. I'm not going to spend that much money on this game. As far as once I do the initial launch, pay for the Hall of Fame edition, I'm not going to sit up here and drop a whole lot of money into this game. I'm going to try to grind it out. I'm going to find ways and methods to make coins. I think, when I get my elites, I'm not going to, like, let's say from the packs that I get from grinding the solos, if I get an elite player, I'm not going to instantly throw that guy up on the market. I'm going to let the market, I'm going to give it a week, and I'm going to let the market dictate how much that card is worth. Because if you were to get, like, let's say you would get like an 89 overall pool, and you go and you just sell that card immediately. Yeah, you might get some coins for it, but you never know. That card could actually work, and his value would increase, and you would be out of maybe a potential 40 to 80,000 coins because you sold them too early. I mean, there had been situations in MUT 18 where guys just played, like the Richard Dent card. That 93 Richard Dent card, when it came out, that card was spectacular, you know, and it actually increased its value than when it first came out, you know. So, all right, guys, that's my take on, MUT 18 and MUT 19, the different changes. And I'd like to shout out to Yanello One for the conversation that we had. I wish everything could have been recorded that we actually taught during this game, but somehow I didn't. So I just wanted to, make a video, touch on that, and give him a shout out. J Blaze out. Peace.